Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to LettiSpeaks. Tonight's reading, we'll take a look at what you need to know. What is it that Spirit feels like you need to know? Okay, so we're going to be pulling in some energies tonight around you. I hope you all are well. Welcome. My name is Letty. Welcome to LettiSpeaks Tarot. If you are new, go ahead and, take a look around, get a feel for the energy. If you're liking this energy, if you would consider liking, sharing, subscribing, that will help to get the message out. And for those that may need to see this message, it'll help them to find it as well. If you feel like you want to subscribe, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and if you do, go ahead and hit the bell so you'll be notified, okay, in case I go live or in case I post new content. If you're returning, hey, how are you doing? Welcome this evening. So I want to take a look at what it is that you need to know right now. Tap into the energies and see what Spirit thinks you need to know, okay? If you are looking for a personal reading, just to let you know, this is a general reading, so it may not resonate for everybody. So don't try to make it fit. But if you are in need of a personal reading, go ahead and go down to my calendar below and take a look. I just adjusted my prices, and so hit me up for a personal, okay? Thank you. I look forward to hearing from you. If it does resonate, however, make sure you comment below, okay? I want to hear from you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's jump on in. Spirit, what is it that my viewer needs to know right now? What is it that my viewer needs to know right now? My intention is that this will reach whoever needs to see it, and we'll keep it short and sweet. Okay, what does my viewer need to know right now? What is it that my viewer needs to know right now? Let's see. Whoa. All right. So we have soar, self-interest, community, ghosts, and mimicry. Okay, so with the energy coming out here for someone, Spirit wants you to fly. Spirit wants you to get up and spread your wings and fly, okay? For someone, there is energy coming in right now that's going to give you everything needed to understand what to do and how to do. There's nothing left, right? You could have been waiting for all of the pieces to come together. Well, they've come together. Spirit is saying there's nothing left but for you to do it, and to get out there and do it, and do it well. I feel like Spirit is, whatever this is concerning, Spirit is letting you know that you have the green light, that you are supported, and that you are more than able to do this. And not only do it, but do it well. For some of you, this is definitely a time where Spirit wants you to actually focus more on yourself. This is a time to be a little selfish with yourself, to actually pull back and understand that There's some things that could be happening for you right now that requires your full attention to be placed on yourself. And yes, people may call you selfish or self-absorbed. That's okay. This is more about you and less about them. This could be because there is something, I could be speaking to givers, lovers, connectors, people whose mission is to actually go out and do. However, there is an appointed time where we pull back, and it's very purposeful. For someone, this is a very purposeful time where you're being asked to pull back and focus on self right now. Spirit is also saying that for someone, there is a community that could be reaching out to you right now, I'm hearing. There's a community of people that could be making efforts to reach out. Now, this particular community or tribe could have, I'm hearing roots in where it is that you're going. This particular community is very knowledgeable and resourceful in what it is that you're needing right now. And so for someone, your soul tribe, your spiritual community could be reaching out to you right now. Let me see. And it's a 10. And so this could be a new beginning coming in for you. If you've spent the last season of your life in a solitude or like in hermit mode, I'm hearing there is a community that's reaching out to you. And sometimes this would be a need also for you to, if you're within a community already, this could also be a need to examine whether or not you still align with that community that you are in, because that could be for you too. There's a community reaching out to you. And so this could be spirit moving you from one place to another. And I'm specifically hearing to look to see if you're still in alignment where you are. We constantly are growing, which means that we should constantly be analyzing and seeing whether or not what we've chosen to place around us is still in alignment with us. Your values, your perspectives, your priorities, your beliefs. Is it still in alignment with where you are? If not, Spirit could be transplanting you from one community to another. I'm just hearing there's a community that's reaching out to you for whoever this is resonating for. And I feel like these messages come as confirmation. So this is not new. This is going to be confirmation of what you have already been hearing or what Spirit has already told you. I also feel Spirit is letting you know that there is going to be a return of some kind. This could be someone coming back into your life that has not been in your life for a while or trying to come back, or this could be the return of something familiar. It could even be a lesson coming back around just to see if you are still on your toes, right? There's something resurfacing, and I feel like overall this could be coming back around just to solidify and close out any last reservations that could still be there. This is an opportunity to put the nail in the coffin is what I'm hearing. So there could be someone coming back from your past. There could be things coming back up from your past, right? Familiarities, experiences, memories. There's a resurfacing of something, and Spirit is letting you know it's coming back up specifically for you to resolve it and to really just finalize it. This could be for you to receive the healing that you never received either. And so I don't feel like it's a bad thing, but I feel like it's for your benefit. Whatever this is that's coming back around, look at it from that perspective. This is an opportunity for you to understand and see yourself as in a different place. And I feel for those that have people coming back around from the past, this may even be an opportunity for you to see how much you've grown. I'm hearing how much you've grown. And these people, when they come back around, they're not even going to know you, right? They're going to see you, but they're not going to know you anymore. And so no need to be afraid, right? No need to take offense. Spirit says this is for you, to get closure for yourself, and to, I specifically heard, put the nail in the coffin. And there's something for someone that Spirit is warning you about, because there's something that's going to show up, or something that's currently showing up, but it's not what it looks like. It's not what it is posing as. It may sound familiar. It may look familiar. It may smell familiar. It may feel familiar, but it's not what it looks like. And so be careful. I'm hearing Spirit say this is a warning to be careful and make sure that you are trusting yourself. Because I feel like even though it may look a certain way, there's going to be something inside that's going to be telling you something different. What you're feeling and what you're seeing is not going to match up. And Spirit is telling you to trust what you're feeling. Even if it looks right and says that it's right, it sounds right, but if it's not feeling right inside in your gut, don't trust it. Don't trust it. Okay? Let's see. If you're liking this reading, if you would be so kind to consider liking, sharing for those that may need this information, and comment if it is resonating with you, and you're not, shy or afraid to comment. Definitely comment. If you have not yet and you're running across this video for the first time, my name is Letty, and welcome. If you would be so kind to consider subscribing. If you do subscribe, make sure that you hit the bell so that you'll be notified in case we go live, okay? Or in case I post content. Let's see. Okay, so I did pull a little bit of information on astrology perspectives about this reading. I thought that would definitely be useful. For some of you, you may need to look in your 10th house. If you're familiar with your birth chart, this could have something to do with your 10th house, and bringing up information or energies around responsibility and success and actually rising to the occasion. So whatever you have in your 10th house, this could be around something actually that you do for work, your calling, your career, right? Your purpose. And so this energy that we just shared could have something to do with where it is that you are planted right now. For some of you, I do feel like some of you are in leadership, a position of leadership. You could be a Leo, a Cancer, a Taurus, or you could have one of those signs in Mercury as well. And so this definitely has something to do with leadership. Again, we were talking about remembering. There's some things that are going to be coming up possibly from the past. And that's coming up through your South Node. And so what I'm hearing from Spirit is that for some of you that are familiar with your birth chart, right? If you're not in your North Node, like this may be something to be aware of, right? I feel like there would be greater chance of you falling into this trap, right? That Spirit is warning about, or these energies that are coming up that you need to be aware of. Now is not the time to like slack up. And possibly this could be for some of you coming in as something very, what is the word? It may feel very familiar, right? And so that internal signal may go off, right? When you step into an area that Spirit wants you to be aware of. And so if you are aware of your birth chart, for those of you that are not, this may not make a lot of sense, especially when we're talking about South Node and North Node. And so this is definitely a time, if you find yourself in your South Node, where temptation would be very prevalent. And you may find yourself falling into, you know, a lot of situations that you normally would not if you were on your path, if you were in your North Node, right? So for someone, you may very well not be on your path, not be where you're supposed to be right now, because South Node came out. And so that's something to think about if you're understanding that. Again, Leo is here, Cancer is here. Leo brings in that very creative expression around leadership and empowerment and self-empowerment. Cancer is bringing in, you know, this balance around the emotions and feelings, and even discovering, you know, how you're feeling right now about the past, about what has happened. I know a very significant portion of what Spirit is bringing has to do with energies arising again from the past. And so this is a time per Cancer as well that we'll need to really be grounded and be really operating in our intuition as well. With Taurus, I feel like Taurus is bringing in energies around being able to maintain the focus and finding those things that will help us to do that, right? Taking hold of resources available to us, you know, being very practical. You know, it's like when you find yourself in anxious moments, it's like, okay, so I know what works for me. I can go and just sit for a moment in a quiet place and just breathe. You know, that's very practical. That's a resource that I have that will help me to stay grounded and maintain the focus. Like whatever that would be for you, that's going to be very significant here. And so, yeah, very interesting energy. So let's go ahead and get into the tarot, okay? Go ahead and get into the tarot. As you can see, I'm getting a little hot here. It's a little sweaty. So let's see, what other information would be pertinent to what our viewers need to know right now? All right, we have the Three of Cups. For some of you, this very well could be a time where you'll be going to gatherings. This could be parties. You know, it could be some type of celebration. You know, this is a season where there's lots of getting out and doing things like pool parties, reunions, family reunions. Many of the school reunions happen during the summer as well. But I do sense that there's going to be some gatherings happening. It could be close-knit, but I feel more apt to believe this is going to be possibly something, for some of you, bigger, large gatherings happening, where these energies that we just discussed will come into play. I'm also hearing like girls' trips as well, and retreats, women's retreats. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Ace of Wands. And so, again, I feel like Spirit will definitely be playing a part in many of the energies unfolding here, specifically, especially for those that may be coming back around. These come back around energies, I feel like, are very purposeful, not necessarily for others, but for you, for those that are watching this. This may be, you know, something, again, that's going to actually show you how much you have grown, how much you have changed, you know, since the last time you were on that level. These comeback arounds are going to be an example of why you changed, you know, and where you were mentally and spiritually, and the importance of making the decisions that you did. And for those of you that may find yourself, especially if you are in your South Node, temptation is awry and it is around every corner. Sometimes we need to see reminders of who we used to be, just to remember who we're not anymore, and just to remember why we moved away from that, and how much that didn't serve us and how much we were not enjoying, you know, that time and being in that space. And so I feel like these comeback arounds are going to be very purposeful, and it's going to give a lot of information that's needed for us to continue to move forward like never before. And if for some reason we could be in a position right now where we're stuck or we're stagnant or we're not feeling like we're moving, this may in fact serve as with the Eight of Swords here, as that motivator to get us out of that mode of being stuck. Sometimes all we need is a little reminder, right, of where we used to be, what we've come from, and it kicks it right into gear. And so like I said, these comeback arounds are going to be very purposeful. By no means is it an invitation to go back into what you've been delivered from. That's not the purpose of this. All right. Lots of healing will be coming through this time frame here. Spirit wants you to know that it's time to release. I feel like there's a lot of things that has been possibly like a comfort blanket. Is that what we call it? The little guy on Charlie Brown, he had his little comfy blanket. I forget what they call it. Security blanket, that's what it was. Some of us have used our wounds as a security blanket, and Spirit is saying it's time to release it. It's time to release it with the Nine of Wands. That no longer matches who you are now. And so it's time to release that. If you can imagine, you know, and it's understandable how we go through stages and we do develop things that assist us along the way. Example, the security blanket of the little guy on Charlie Brown. Now imagine the little guy on Charlie Brown now all grown up and, you know, well into his 30s, 40s, 50s. He's had kids and has had grandkids, and he still has the little security blanket, right? It doesn't quite fit. There would be something just not, you know, it would be something that just would not be okay to see that, you know. And so that's the kind of what Spirit is saying here. Like, for the time that we may have needed the security of holding on for protection, you know, for boundaries, for guidance, whatever we use that for, may have gotten us through or, you know, served its purpose for the time that we needed it. But now we're way past that time. It's time to release those things. It's time to let it go. And so there's some wounds that we've been holding on to, and Spirit is saying, yeah, we're releasing that now because it no longer fits with who we are, with the new, transformed, healed, empowered, resourceful us that we are right now. And so for some of us, we'll be releasing some wounds forever, right? We don't need it anymore. We don't have to claim that as part of our identity anymore because we have been completely renewed, okay? Anything else, Spirit? I love this. This is beautiful. What else do we need to know right now? What else do we need to know right now? All right, we have the King of Wands. Let's see. Specifically, there could be a King of Wands that there's been an ending with. There's been a close of a chapter, or there is a need to close the chapter out permanently so that you can move forward. Now, King of Wands is usually, I believe it's Gemini energy. It could be air energy, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. And there could be, I'm feeling there's a possibly a new energy waiting to step in. I'm seeing a King of Pentacles. And I feel like Spirit is saying what you're releasing forever, you know, don't feel any type of way about it, because what's waiting is like 7 times as good for whoever that resonates with. And when it comes to the King of Pentacles, even with the 7 of Pentacles, it's adding to the fact that this feels like very mature energy. It feels like very confident energy, very resourceful, someone very sure of themselves. It feels like an energy that is very slow but sure. Very slow but sure. Very slow but able, right? And for some of you, this could be an energy that has actually been waiting, been watching, could definitely have intuitive depth. Now, the King of Pentacles, Pentacles is usually earth energy. So we're looking at Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus energy, but it doesn't have to be. It could be someone with those type of qualities in their chart. What else does my viewer need to know? But I get the very stable energy for this whoever this is. What else does my viewer need to know? What else would you like them to know? Anything else they need to know? So for many of you, I feel like you are already definitely on the new path. With the Fool here, yeah, you've already made the decision to walk a new path and leave something behind, right? You may have made sacrifices in walking, you know, away from things, but it's with the hope that you would be able to secure something much better for yourself. And you will. Spirit says you will. The Empress energy. So for some of you, you may in fact be leveling up to the Empress energy. And so Empress energy is really for me, it represents a level of mastering different aspects of yourself. When we look at the Empress, we're looking at all four of the queens. The Queen of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. Each of those represents a different aspect of, you know, this very mature, emotional energy, very mature, feminine energy. And there's a level of mastering all of those to come to the Empress, to be able to come to the Empress. So for some of you, there's a level up in that way because you have walked away and left something behind, an old way of living. It could be old ideas, old values, old beliefs, old relationships, old parts of yourself, old traditions, old family, you know, beliefs, right? Whatever it is that you have decided to move away from, it's in exchange for something greater within yourself. You chose yourself, and because you did, right, there is a leveling up happening. And there's a level of lessons that you've learned, and there's, you know, mastering that you've done within yourself to come to this place, right? By no means am I saying that you just walked away from something and arrived. No, there was lessons along the way, right? Different difficulties and hardships that happen, you know, along the way. And so this is something that you have worked for, right? So I don't want to make it sound like you were just given this. This is something that you work for. And yeah, let's see, what else does my viewer need to know? And what do we have here? We have the Emperor, right? Which is the divine counterpart to the Empress, okay? So for some of you, let's see, there's a divine counterpart at play here. All right. And it's also the same for the Emperor. It's the same. And so you could be someone who also have, you know, graduated to this level of enjoyment and fulfillment within yourself. Self-empowerment, realizing, you know, your abilities and your worth. And it's the same for the Emperor. The Emperor is actually the mastery of all the kings. We have the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles. We actually have 2 of those out, or we have 3 of those on the board. The King of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. The only thing we're missing is the King of Cups. But the Emperor had to go through the same exact thing, you know, to get to that level. And so this is high level energy out here. That's what this is saying, that this is very mature energy. Tried, true energy. All right. What else does my viewer need to know? All right. So we have the Queen of Swords coming out here. The Queen of Swords, the Page of, or the, Page of Cups, and the 3 of Pentacles. So I feel like Spirit is bringing up that there is something, a level of change, a level of clarity that you are called to bring, that you could possibly be aware of with what it is that you've been called to do. Because I don't feel like we're placed in high positions just to say that, you know, we've made it. You know, we're usually placed in positions of power to actually do something or to operate in some type of way that would be helpful. And that would assist others. And so you've come to bring, for some of you, a different way. You've come to offer something a different way, or assist in some type of way, bring some level of clarity, or help in some type of way. Let's see. So we have the Hermit, the Temperance, and the Star. For some of you, you've come to show the way, right? You've come to show the way. When we take a look at the Hermit, it's almost like there is a light that's guiding. Same thing with the Star. There is a level of guiding happening. With the Temperance, we see the light there as well. And so there is a level of guidance that you are offering. You've been called to be a guide of some sort, a guiding light or a guide. There could be a level of information that you've come to bring. There could be a method that you've come to share. Yeah, a method or a way, I'm hearing. Possibly you've come to show how to do something. And so, in light of that, You know, going back to the energies that we need to know when we're looking at the oracle card, right? Many of us are on the path. Many of us are working within our purpose, or trying to do that, trying to find out, you know, exactly what it is that we've been called to do, or, you know, how best we can fulfill our mission in the world, you know. And so I feel like these are definitely messages going out to those who are aware and are conscious and are tapped in to their divine source, and are actively, you know, doing what they feel like they've been called to do, or what they've been given to do, if I can say it that way. You could even be someone who is within the spotlight in some type of way, shape, or form, or before people. You could even be someone who, you know, have come to make a difference. Not really to get in line with everyone else, but you've come to lead the way, not to follow. Many times as leaders, there's a level of shaking, you know, that you bring in, because you're not a follower. Like, you've come to set the path and to show the path, not to follow along with what's already been set. For many, I believe, especially in today's time, there's a lot of callings that are happening right now that look very different than anything that we've seen before, right? You know, there's talk about things like the new earth, a new way, you know, things like that. Something that is probably going to be very challenging when we look at traditional ways of practicing our spirituality, our religion, right? I feel like there could be a level of being called to something different, which could in fact bring in a level, many different things, you know, from having, you know, this sense of support and uplifting, to having lots of support with resources or what have you, encouraging words, to having this mixed feelings about how we feel about that, causing a little bit of dissension, right? Because again, as leaders, we're called to not only think for ourselves, but we're called to provide space and make others think for themselves, not just to blindly follow. But good leaders, I believe, produce other leaders, not followers, if that makes sense. And so there is a little of dissension that could come in with that, you know, because you're not called to do what everybody else is doing. You're called to be very creative and innovative in what it is that you choose to do, or how you choose to carry forth your mission. And so, while loving what you do, right? That's the beautiful part of it. I feel like our callings will definitely tap into some of our deepest desires and some of our deepest levels of fulfillment. That's the good part about this, is that we're usually aligned with parts of ourselves that naturally flow and that feel good. And so there's like this double fulfillment happening as we're going out and pouring out what it is that we've been given to share and do. There's a level of fulfillment that's also happening by us being able to pour out what we've been filled with. So there's this dual fulfillment happening. We have the Five of Cups and the Seven of Swords. Yeah. Doesn't mean it'll always be easy, right? The Five of Cups can be having a little bit of hard time leaving some things behind. The Five of Cups, the Seven of Swords, you know, watching out for, you know, things that would present danger. And so I feel like this is a need to really, even though we are operating in the deepest parts of our heart and pouring that out, there's still the need for things like boundaries and to continue to move forward and not get stuck or attached to things or people, you know. And so there's this need for continual growth and movement forward. Ooh, 51 minutes. I was only planning to be on here for like 15 minutes. And so, let's see. We're going to go ahead and end it out. Is there any last messages that we have for our viewers tonight? We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, right? For those of you that have chosen to go the way alone, like you've chosen to stay in this Nine of Pentacles energy, which says that you are completely fulfilled, you know, with what you've been given. You don't need anything else. You're completely okay, independent. That's okay too. That's okay too. I don't feel like everybody is called to join with someone else. I feel like we're connected and we are called to be part of a community, but when it comes to like having to feel like you have to do it with someone else, that's not for everybody. Maybe someone is, maybe you are very, you know, secure and fulfilled just being by yourself. That's okay. And holding all of your treasures, you know, all of your, what you would have to give to another partner, you're just holding it within yourself. There is a saying that, you know, the longer you are celibate, the more potent you're able to operate in your gifts. I don't know how true that is. That might be true. That just came up. Let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments if you've heard that too. Like the more you hold yourself, the more powerful you're able to operate in your gifts. Yeah. And so that's what I have. That just really stood out for me for a second. And then lastly, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands, first of all, have courage to go after what it is that you are being given. For someone, this is a new opportunity coming towards you, a new opportunity to build something amazing. something without limits. You could take it as far as you desire to go. It's up to you. Having the courage to do it. The Seven of Wands also talks about protecting it, standing your ground for what you believe in. The Four of Wands, stability, foundations. And so that's what I have for you as far as what Spirit wanted to bring out today. I hope this message resonated. Different pieces, you know, but I believe it all comes together the way that it's supposed to. And whatever was there for you, that you would have received it. If you need to go back and watch it again, you can do that. Again, my name is Letty. Thank you so much for stopping by. It has been a pleasure reading for you. If you are new, please consider liking, sharing. When you share, it helps the video to get out for those that may need to see it. And so I appreciate that. If you yourself are liking the energy on the channel here, consider subscribing. If you do, make sure you hit the bell so you'll be notified when new videos come out, okay? All right, so that was for you, my friends, around what Spirit would want you to know right now. And again, I feel like this should not be anything new. For you, it should be more like a confirmation of what you're already feeling or what Spirit is already saying or has said. And so, yeah, thank you for stopping by. It's been a pleasure reading for you. Until next time, you take care of yourself and be bold, be courageous. I believe that there are things that has been set before us specifically. Each of us can say that specifically for ourselves. Have the courage to go after it and get it, whatever that is that you believe that Spirit has prepared for you. Have the courage to approach your table that's been prepared for you and have a seat at your table so that you can partake of everything that's been, you know, prepared for you. Right? That's a seat that only you can sit in. Now, if you choose not to sit in it, then it'll just stay empty. But why not? You know, it's been prepared for you. And so have the courage to go after what it is that has been prepared for you, is what I feel Spirit saying. Okay? And some of the tools were presented here, some of the things to expect and to look out for. You know, many things will come and try to knock us off our path so we can't make it to the table. But Spirit is here to give guidance along the way, okay? And so if this was for you, then hey, take it. If not, don't try to make it fit. If you're looking for a personal reading, you can definitely go down to my description box and hit me up there, and we can get a personal reading out for you, okay? But until next time, my name is LettiSpeaks. It's been a pleasure reading for you. As you know, I do not take it lightly. So until next time, you guys, come on. Come have a seat at the table. All right. Bye.